Hey guys, welcome back to our Christmas story, where I, Leonardo, have recounted the events of Jesus' birth. For the past 2 weeks, we've talked about the story of the wisemen and the story of Mary and Joseph. And since Christmas is right around the corner, I feel it's best our stories start to come together and we finally give some closure. So, after their long journey, the wise men finally arrive in Bethlehem. Just like you've probably heard before, they present their gifts to the toddler Jesus as a sign of worship. And yes, he was not a baby anymore. The gifts were gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But not many people know what the purpose of these gifts were. Frankincense was used as a symbol of worship and prayer. Myrrh was an odor retardant used in burials, especially a king's burial. And gold, pretty self-explanatory, a valuable resource. What king doesn't need riches? And all of this took place in their house, not a stable. Then the wise men tell Mary and Joseph that Herod told them where they could find Jesus. But Mary and Joseph are shocked to hear of this news, because they know how ruthless King Herod can be. That's right, although he may have been a favorable king for the Romans, the citizens in and around Jerusalem were terrified of him. Not only is he obsessed with his throne, but he would do anything to protect it. See, Herod was a paranoid madman who had at least 10 wives, and as you can imagine, lots of children. Any of his sons that he perceived a threat to his kingdom, he would execute. Absolutely no filter on this man. So you can understand why Mary and Joseph would be afraid for their lives. Later that night, while the Magi were still in Bethlehem, they are warned in a dream to not go back to Jerusalem and report what they had found to Herod. So with this, the wise men pack up their things and take a different route home, hoping to avoid scary Herod as much as possible. So the wise men leave and Joseph has a dream.
Hold up, this is ridiculous. Why so many dreams?
I guess it was God's way of communicating in a more intimate setting. You know, face to face. Anyway, in Joseph's dream, he figures out that Herod knows of the Magi's deception. And how does Herod respond? Well, of course he's furious. Feeling betrayed and at a loss, Herod orders all of the boys ages 2 and under to be slaughtered in Bethlehem and the surrounding towns. Wait, no, that can't be right. That seems like something King Herod would do, but there's little to no evidence it actually happened. I think the book of Matthew is trying to make Jesus look like Moses. If you remember in the Moses story, he was going to lead and free his people, and he barely avoided being slaughtered with the masses as a baby. But you can imagine Herod did everything in his power to find Jesus. After all, Jesus was the main attraction he was after. So Joseph wakes up and is immediately scared and rushes Mary and Jesus out of Bethlehem. It's possible that Herod's army was already there searching for them, and Mary and Joseph narrowly escape. He takes them to Egypt, which is another long journey. He was told it would be safe there until Herod's time was over. It would likely take days to get there, but guess what? They had all the resources for traveling and housing if they needed it, due to the generosity of the wise men. So there you have it. Mary, Joseph, and Jesus were now refugees, looking for a safe place away from certain destruction. But sometime later, most likely years, Herod passed away from a chronic kidney disease, intestinal problems, and seizures and spasms, among many other gross things that I won't list. If you ask me, that's too easy and boring. If you'd like, we can say a piano fell on him. Or maybe he was eaten alive by crows. But with Herod gone, Jesus was safe for the time being, and this meant Mary and Joseph could finally return home to Nazareth and show Jesus the house that Joseph had built for them. So that's it, folks. That's the Christmas story I've grown up with. So the story we tell our children is beautiful, but at some point we need to think about the accuracy of Christmas. Not just to think of it as Jesus' birthday. So I, Leo, challenge you to think about what Christmas is really about. Maybe you think it's a time of love, a time of giving, a season of joy. Well, you'd be correct. But really look into it, and maybe you'll find something beautiful in your Christmas story. So, on behalf of the Leonardo family, I wish you a Merry Christmas. Oh, and a Happy New Year.